Well, actress and talk show host Whoopi Goldberg is again facing some backlash following a recent interview with the Sunday Times of London. In that interview, Goldberg said the Holocaust was not about race or physical attributes, saying, quote, they were killing people they considered to be mentally defective, and then they made this decision, end quote. And neither Goldberg or ABC, where of course she hosts The View, have responded. Historians have joined other critics of Goldberg, saying that denying the Nazis' use of racial profiling is seen as diminishing the severity of anti-Semitism, both past and present. And we're at a time right now where we're seeing more anti-Semitic behavior than we have in years. Joining us right now, Robert Patillo, a civil and human rights attorney based out of Atlanta. Thank you so much for being with us. You know, Whoopi was suspended back in February for making similar comments. Is it surprising that she's speaking out like this again?
It's surprising she learned absolutely nothing from when it happened previously. And I think we see this often when a celebrity makes comments, particularly about the Holocaust or about slavery, and we run out the same policy. We take them to the Holocaust Museum. We tell them about the human rights struggles of humanity, but yet and still they learn very little from it. And I think that ABC has to take a hard look at whether or not this is a version of liberal privilege, because I can't imagine a conservative host being able to say this and then saying it again and still having a show on television. At this point in time, I think Whoopi Goldberg at one point in time identified as Jewish. She should know the history of these situations. And I think we have to have one standard across the board. It cannot simply be that people get canceled when you don't like them and then other people get to say. It has to be either everyone is held to the same standard or nobody's held to that standard.
Well, you mentioned privilege and the fact that she once identified as Jewish. I mean, you can do a quick Google search and see that at one point she did call herself Jewish without practicing Judaism, but she was suspended earlier this year for the first time. She brought up similar comments, saying she would never bring the topic up again. Do you believe that, she mentioned she was talking to her best friend, who we can presume was Jewish, about whether or not what she was saying was true? Do you think that this is why she feels so comfortable talking about it?
I think because she knows there will not be repercussions is why she feels so comfortable talking about it. She understands that she's of the belief that she can continue making statements of this nature and not take the time and put the work in to learn the truth. Go and visit some of the concentration camps that are still in existence in Europe. Talk to some of the Holocaust survivors about what happened. They can tell you that no, it was not about mental deficiency. They were rounded up based on their ethnic origins, on their race, on their religious traditions, and they were executed by the millions. And we see the same form of this denialism when it comes to American slavery, when we have this conversation about reparations and about what needs to be done as recompense for what America did during slavery. As long as we have this revisionist version of history where we're not willing to accept what it did and did not happen, it's impossible to make progress on going forward. And this continues to metastasize and create cover for individuals like a Kanye West who want to make similar statements. If you're going to cancel Kanye, how can you not do the same to Whoopi Goldberg? Let's have one standard across the board.
Well, I think some people would probably disagree that Kanye's comments were similar to Whoopi's comments. She's not denying the Holocaust. She's not saying anything violent against Jews, but she is saying things that a lot of people in the Jewish community are taking umbrage over.
Well, I will say that when you are saying that the Holocaust was not about the Jewish faith, that is violence. You were taking a very deep conspiracy theory, the Holocaust denialism, and simply giving voice to that, giving faith to that, giving cover to that. We need to have one standard version of history where we say the Nazis killed a lot of Jews because they were Jewish, and we have to stop that from happening again. And this influences our foreign policy. This influences our laws here in the United States, because if you start diverging from that very much, then you start on that slippery slope that led there in the first place. We have to learn our history in this country, and if we do not do so, then we'll see a repeat of those things going forward.
Do you think that she'll be taken off the air again?
Not at all. I don't think there will be any significant punishments for her because of this form of privilege that she has seemed to have when she's made other controversial statements over the year. I think as long as she's making money for ABC, they will find some excuse to keep this going.
All right, Robert Patillo, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.